All right, we're back on the record in 19327, the state of Texas versus Sam Martin. The state has rested. The jury is present. State, are you ready for your closing argument?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, please proceed.
Ladies and gentlemen, over the last day, you've seen that this case is just as simple as I told you it was going to be when we stood up here at the beginning of the day. We have a young man who was not in fear for his life. He was just angry. And how do we know, ladies and gentlemen, that this is not a case of self-defense, that this isn't a case of fear? We know because Sam Martin said it himself. You heard testimony that when the police arrived that day, Sam Martin never said, "I'm in fear for my life." He never said, "I thought Gavin was going to kill me." He said, "I messed up." He said, "I know I'm going to jail." He said, "My brother deserved it." Those aren't the words of someone who was just defending their life, ladies and gentlemen. Those are the words of a kid who wanted to hurt his brother and a kid who knew he did wrong. It's uncontested that he caused serious bodily injury to his brother. You heard all of the testimony that his brother was in fact shot. You heard Sam admit that he is the one who did the shooting. The only thing in contention today is whether or not he used legal self-defense. And ladies and gentlemen, Sam Martin did not reasonably believe that his life was in immediate danger from his brother. He just wanted to get even. When you retire to that jury room, I'm going to ask that you help the state of Texas, that you help Gavin Dacey, and that you send a message to Mr. Martin that that is not how we solve our fights in this state. And I'll ask you to find him guilty. Thank you.
Thank you, State. Defense, are you ready for your closing statement?
Defense ready.
All right, proceed.
Sam Martin, a 17-year-old boy, was abused and tormented for the past year while living with his brother, Gavin Dacey. In the past year that Gavin lived with Sam, he was the main one to be found abusing him. Sam Martin had to do something unthinkable to protect his own life. He had to shoot his own brother. On September 23rd, 2016, throughout the whole day, Sam Martin began to get beat up, not only by his brother, but by his father and his grandfather. Earlier that day, Sam went to a job interview and went straight home waiting for a call. He then fell asleep and asked his brother what to do, which resulted in Gavin calling him a bitch. The two brothers got into a fight again, and their parents had to pull them apart, making them both go into the house. Once inside, Sam's grandfather put him into a chokehold, which in turn led Gavin to pushing them into the ground. While Sam and his grandfather were on the ground, Gavin took the opportunity to start stomping on Sam's head, which resulted in the welt that was shown earlier. When this fight was broken up, Gavin told his grandfather and father that Sam stole his grandfather's Xanax before going to the backyard and telling them to let him finish Sam. To Sam, this meant that Gavin wanted him dead. This led to his father throwing him into his bedroom floor while Sam was trying to pack up to leave. When he was able to get out of the house, he tried to go back and feed his dog, and his brother Gavin told him not to step into the garage or he is going to fight him. Sam tried to de-escalate the situation and tell his brother he didn't want to fight anymore, but his brother still charged at him, causing Sam to fear for his life. Luckily, Sam's parents encouraged him to carry a firearm because the neighborhood wasn't safe, and he was able to shoot Gavin in the legs, stopping him from coming after him. You heard the testimony that Sam is a highly skilled marksman. If Sam had aimed for Gavin's head or chest, that's where he would have hit him. Instead, he aimed for Gavin's legs. Ladies and gentlemen, shooting someone in the legs evidences intent to stop a charging attack. It is evidence of fear. It is not evidence of malice or unprovoked violence. The judge gave you the law and the jury charge. As a reminder of this, the law is you can use deadly force, in this case shooting, if you reasonably believe it is immediately necessary to defend against unlawful deadly force. Sam did everything he could do to get out of this confrontation and every other confrontation that day. By the time Gavin charged him in the driveway, Sam was already injured. Unable to de-escalate the situation further and was terrified of his brother and Gavin's violent state of mind. We know Sam had to act immediately because of the lack of distance between them. Also, because Gavin charged after Sam and he had no escape route. It was immediately necessary for Sam because not only does Gavin have known violent tendencies, he is also physically bigger. In the mind of a 17-year-old, 140-pound boy against a 23-year-old, 200-pound man, he had the right to defend himself, especially because the 23-year-old, 200-pound man already threatened to finish him and could physically beat him to death if given the chance. In conclusion, I ask for a not guilty verdict. Sam Martin just wanted to save his own life, and shooting his brother in the legs was the only way possible for this to happen. Thank you.
All right, thank you, counselors. Jury, you have my instructions. You've heard the arguments of counsel. You now retire to your deliberation room and we await your verdict.